in the background. Could you say that?
What win in the background?
Yeah, I think that your videos and the songs that you released were not as aggressive for the public, maybe you could say that, for the public that can't cope with that honesty, like you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you say, I give up?
Oh, I haven't given up.
I don't imagine, but I just wanted to ask you why you know, when you just look at you as an image, everything became a little bit more, well, you're not playing with that sex thing anymore that much, I think.
Well, I am, but I'm doing it in a much subtler way.
Do you think that's better, just not to give them such a big...
I don't think it's better, it's just what I'm doing right now.
And why?
Because I want to.
I was waiting for that answer. People told me about it. As you say that maybe some outlooks on you in the press were not right, do you think that if you put them all together, all the little pieces that people wrote about you, no matter if good or bad, do you think that those bring out the real you then, if you put them all together, or is there still something missing?
Yes, because none of those people that write about me really know me. So if you want to know me, you can't read about me, you have to know me.
But then actually one could think that you didn't give the people such a hard time to know you because you expressed everything very freely.
Yes, but I expressed myself, but one can never express their ideas completely in one interview. And you have to understand that my words are then taken and reinterpreted to other people through the mind of the writer who's writing about me or the newscaster who's reporting on me. It's not a completely honest it's not a completely honest transference of ideas, and things get, it's like if I told you a secret in your ear and then you turned to that guy and you told a secret in his ear and then she turned and it went around the room, by the time it got out to that person it would be a completely different idea. You see, and that's what happens with people who are famous or in the public eye. Everything is misunderstood and reinterpreted, and so it's never exactly what you want to say.
And is there any way how to go around that for you?
No, there is no way. Fame is a form of misunderstanding.
And do you sometimes then suffer because of your fame? Do you say...
Absolutely, because people come up to you on the street and they think they know you and they don't.
And so sometimes you think that things should have gone different in your life?
Should have gone different?
Yeah. Maybe you hope they would have gone different?
Well, yeah, sometimes, but this is the career that I've chosen for myself, so I have to accept that this goes with it.
Yeah, but, I mean, you made a lot of decisions on your way. When you look back on them, do you think all the decisions were right? Or do you think that...
They were all decisions that I was meant to make, yes.
Because that's also something I was wondering personally, because I always read about you saying, well, I'm just doing what I want to do. Mm-hmm. But I was always wondering, because I would like to do that too, you know, just always do what I want to do. And I have the feeling I do that, but then sometimes I don't know what I want to do. How do you get that security? You
don't. You just keep trying things. Maybe it's not something you want, but you have to, if you have an idea, if you have a fantasy, if you have a dream, if you have something you want to pursue, you have to do it.
And you never came to crossroads where you said, oh, I don't know which way to go now. I would like to go the way I want to, but I don't know which.
No.
What, is that something inside your stomach that tells you, yes?
No, it's something inside my heart.
Yeah, or heart, maybe. And then you just go
It's just instinct.
And do you think that you, or on what do you think you missed out on because of your career? Is there anything?
Privacy. A little bit more privacy.
Do you think that maybe you concentrated too much on that one part, if there's two parts, love and relationships and privacy and friendships, and on the other side there's career and going through tough things, and do you think that you maybe put too much energy in that one field and lost the other one?
Sometimes, yeah. As far as relationships go, yeah, I think so, but I think there's a time and a place for everything. I think everyone goes through a period of time where they've focus more on their career and finding out who they are in the world and experimenting. You have to travel all the time, and then you get to another stage in your life and you want to concentrate on other things, and I think it's just a cycle, it's a thing, you just go through it, and that's what I've done.
At what stage are you right now then?
Well, I've never said one or the other. I've never only been interested in my career. I've always had boyfriends. I've always been in a relationship. And I have never been at a point where I've only concentrated on my relationship and forgotten about my career. I can't.
But don't you think that maybe something that was really something you wanted to keep maybe broke apart because of outer circumstances?
Yes, sometimes.
Like, for example, what? Or how? How did the outer circumstances
Well, sometimes when, you know, you say you're having a problem in your relationship, but say you have to go on the road for 6 months, it's really hard to deal with things when you have to do shows every night, and sometimes rather than, you know, deal with it because it requires a lot of effort, you let things go because at that time in your life you just can't go there.
Do those friends or relationships understand?
Never my friends. My friends always understand.
They say, we can understand your life, although they've never been in a life like that?
Well, the handful of friends that I have understand my life.
Did you have to explain that to them?
Well, they have to be around me. They've been around. They've seen what I go through. They see how I suffer. They see how I've misquoted. They know. They'll be with me in one part of the country and then we'll read in the newspaper that I'm somewhere else, and they see how insane it is. They're incredibly supportive and sympathetic, and to me a friend is a person who, if you don't call them for a couple of weeks, they don't get angry at you because they know you're busy, and then when you do speak to them, it's good, everything's good, it's unconditional love. And I've always had friends like that through the years.
And in a relationship you can't have a person be so selfless, you think?
Well, it depends on the person. If you get involved with someone who's immature or insecure about who they are, then of course my life and my lifestyle is going to be a little bit threatening to them, and I have done that. Whereas other people are more secure, and it's easier for them to deal with my career.
Those friends of yours that accompanied you the whole time, are those friends that you have since like 10 years?
Yeah.
Do there ever new friends come into your...
Yeah.
How do you find out how a person is, if somebody's a good character or if somebody just wants to be part of your...
Spend time with them. That's the only way. That's the only way you can have a relationship with anybody, too. You've got to spend time. It takes time to know someone.
So you give everybody a chance that would come your way?
No, I don't give everybody a chance. I give people chances that I think, you know, see life the way I see it, or I see some sort of understanding in their eye or something. The way you choose friends. How do you know when you want to be friends with someone?
Yeah, well, I spend time with them, that's true. But then on the other side, I thought that maybe being in a position like you are, you have to have a technique to select, maybe.
No. A lot of the people that I end up becoming friends with are people who are introduced to me through other friends. So since they're introduced to me through other people I already trust, it's easier for me to trust them.
If you look at people that are maybe in the same stage of popularity as you are, if you could maybe say Prince or Michael Jackson, I mean, maybe you don't consider them there, but they live very strange lives. I mean, they pulled themselves back out of society completely, and they don't seem to be human people anymore. Why do you think that they live that way?
I don't know. I can't speak for them.
Yeah, but I thought maybe, as you don't live like that, I think, maybe you came to a point where it was close to that. Or maybe you came to a point where you thought, oh, I can understand why they...
Yeah, I can certainly understand why they feel the need to protect themselves and hide, but I love being around people. I don't want to hide. I've never been that kind of a person. I like doing normal things. I like going for walks. I like riding my bike. I like being out there in the world. I don't want to cut myself off from the world because that's what inspires me.
But is that always easy?
No, it's a challenge, but you know, I can deal with it.
For example, if you go with your bike for a ride, how can I imagine I mean, is there a crowd of people running behind you?
No, not so much in America. In Los Angeles, I go for bike rides all the time. Nobody bothers me.
Where is it worse?
In Europe, it's worse.
Really?
New York is kind of crazy. In big cities, it's crazy. But places that are more out in the country and far away from the city, it's much easier.
When you talk about America and Europe, I was thinking before that America actually is much more conservative than Europe is. What do you think?
I used to think that, but I think Europe's getting really conservative too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, maybe that doesn't show how liberal a country is, but for example, if you would say fuck right now, you know, like 100 times, I guess nobody would care because, I mean, we wouldn't cut it out, you know, because everybody says that on the street, so why not saying it on television? Don't you think that this mirrors somehow another attitude towards those things?
Well, in that respect, then Europeans, I would say, are less hypocritical that way.
Yeah, that's what I meant. There's a double moral thing in America.
Yeah.
But would it at all challenge you to say fuck if they don't cut it out?
No.
So what is the reason then why you want to challenge the society, or what is the reason why
I'm not
you're
interested in challenging people who, I mean, it's like, that's like preaching to the converted. I mean, the reason that I would go on television in America and say fuck is to show the hypocrisy in America and show how ridiculous it is, because everybody and their brother uses that word, and it really doesn't have anything to do with sexual intercourse. It's like an expression of joy, love, shock. I mean, it means so many things, and it's ludicrous to not be able to say it and have it bleeped out. It's the same for shit. You know, you're not allowed to say shit, and you're not allowed to say fuck, you're not allowed to say... And meanwhile, everybody says it in everyday life. So I feel inspired to, you know, push those buttons because I want to show how ludicrous it is. But, you know, I don't just go around saying those words.
No, that's what I thought. But do you think that over the years, I mean, of course, things change not because of one person like you, but do you think that you pathened away? Can you say that? Pathened away?
Made a path?
Yeah, made a path.
Yeah. I mean, maybe things don't change because of me, but maybe it opens people's mind up a little bit, and then the next person after me has a little bit easier time, and then the next person after that. Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say. If you would start with the same things you did 12 years ago, do you think today it would? How would it be today? Nobody would care. Everybody would go, oh, yes, go ahead. Let's just...
Oh, you mean if I did what I did 12 years ago now, people wouldn't care? Yeah, truly.
And are there young female musicians or artists that thank you for that?
No. No.
Should they, though?
Yes, they should.
And do you have the feeling that they...
Are ungrateful? Yes.
Yeah, yes? Like who? Who's ungrateful? What did they say?
Know, I think it's hard for people, you know, I mean, I think most people who are starting off in the business don't want to say that someone else influenced them or you know, forged the way for them. I think people want to say, you know, I did this on my own, and, you know, but there's always someone before you that...
Who was before you then?
Debbie Harry. I mean, that's the only person I can think of. I mean, there were other artists that were, you know, coming up before me, I would say, that inspired me, like Chrissie Hynde from the Pretenders. I mean, there are people that were already doing well before me, and I looked at them and I said, oh, they're strong women and they're doing what they want, and that was inspiring to me.
Were there other artists than music artists that inspired you? Or do inspire you?
Now, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, where do you get your inputs from? Because I read that you have, for example, Picasso drawings on your wall and paintings. Sorry. Or for example, you like Frida Kahlo and you like M. Sexton.
Yes.
And so does that inspire you?
Yes, absolutely.
In which way?
In which way?
Yes.
It inspires me. I mean, Frida Kahlo was an amazing woman, and her life inspires me, the things that she had to overcome to be the artist that she was. Her work inspires me. The feelings that it makes you feel. I mean, it's the same as, you know, going to see, you know, the Sistine Chapel. I mean, you look up at that ceiling and you feel inspired by it. Because one human being can do something so great and so moving.
But especially Frida Kahlo and Sexton were such sad people somehow. I mean, they had such hard times and were quite depressive and close to death with their thoughts. And why is that something that's close to you also?
Well, I can only say that I can relate to a lot of their pain and their sadness. I certainly don't feel suicidal, and in fact, Frida Kahlo and Sexton committed suicide, but Frida Kahlo died because she was very ill, and she actually was a survivor, and, you know, suffered, you know, a horrible accident when she was a teenager, and suffered physical illnesses and being crippled and having all kinds of things wrong with her. She managed to stay productive and creative in spite of being crippled, in spite of the pain that she was going through, and that is very inspiring.
People say, I mean, that's me and my friends, that's always the people that I know that say something to me, say that you become more and more beautiful each year.
Really?
And yes. I mean, I've been looking through books now on the flight, and of course I knew you before also, but I looked through books and had this comparison, and I think that you became much more beautiful. And do you think so too?
I think I probably just started working with better makeup and hair people and better photographers.
Yeah, but
well, as you go through life, you start to know what looks good, what doesn't look good, what's more flattering, and you develop a sense of style. I mean, that's normal.
Yeah, true. And
I mean, if you look at a picture of yourself when you were in high school, don't you just go, ugh, I cannot believe my hair looks so stupid? And I mean, you know things as you get older.
Is that how you feel when you look at pictures?
Yes.
You think, oh my God,
no, I tell my father when I come home for the holidays, he has to take all of my pictures off the wall from high school because they're just so ugly.
Yeah, but maybe it's also, I don't want to make it all psychological or anything, but maybe also if you have more inner security, then maybe it pours out of you?
Possibly, yeah, of course.
Yeah? Do you feel like that? Do you feel stronger? And tell me how you feel, because I don't always want to say it and you say yes because we want you to say that. Is that how you feel about yourself right now?
I think I'm certainly wiser than I used to be. I think I have a better understanding of life. And I think I've realized over the years that my own happiness, that I can't look outside of myself for happiness, that it's inside of me. So that probably gives me more of a sense of peace.
And calmness. Do you think, and that's one thing I wanted to talk to you about at the end, maybe. Do you think that when you get to that point that you feel very one-to-one with yourself and quite peaceful and calm in yourself, that it's time, for example, to give that to a little child or something? I mean, I heard you talking about you would really like to have a child. Is that one of your wishes? And is that going to happen soon then?
Well, not probably in the next 5 or 10 minutes, but...
Oh, I don't think so, no.
Yes, well, I have to make a movie first. But
do you have the right man already? I mean, I don't want to be too personal, but is there don't you need a husband also to...
Yeah. Well, I don't need a husband, but I do need a man.
That's important. You're not one of those women that say, well, I'll have somebody make me a child and I'll raise it myself.
No, I'd rather have everybody together.
Family.
It's important to me, yeah.
How would you raise your kid? What did you miss when you were young that you would want the kid to have better?
Well, I didn't have a mother.
Yeah.
So what I would do is be the mother that I never had.
Would you be able, with your life, to be a mother for the child? Or?
Yes. I mean, I suppose my life would have to change to a certain extent. But I look forward to that.
You would sacrifice some things for that then?
Yes.
Good. Can I? Okay. Okay. I was quite nervous. Now I'm not as nervous anymore, and I think you're very nice also. And now a lot of German kids watch what you're saying right here. And I mean, I don't know if it's easy. I never like to say my message is this and this and this. But is there something maybe that you want to give to them before you go, before I go, we go?
Give to whom?
To you, to my viewers, to the ones, to your viewers right now in Germany.
Well, I would hope that in the course of our interview, the questions that I've asked and the point of view that I've given you and my philosophy in life has come out to a certain extent, and that is what I would like to give to whoever's watching it. You know, I think, you know, believing in yourself, and following your dreams. I think all those things, I talk about those things all the time. I still think they're really important.
Yeah, I think they came out with what you answered. Was it now very boring, or was it okay?
What, the interview?
Yes.
Yeah, it was okay.
It was okay?
Uh-huh.
Thank you.